Hey guys, Tim here with the Long Hair Gardener, and today I am in Laurel Hill Cemetery. You can see some of the huge mausoleums behind me. This is an absolutely beautiful cemetery. It is a Victorian cemetery, and you're probably wondering, what on earth are we doing here? They do have a pretty good amount of plants located throughout the cemetery. So I thought we would leave the neighborhoods and maybe take a look at Laurel Hill. We are now in September, and according to me, we are now in fall, and it is my favorite time of year. I love Halloween, I love October, and I love anything creepy and spooky. So just another reason for me to come and explore the cemetery. But you won't be disappointed at some of the plants that we find today. So let's go ahead and take a look. So I'll just do a little scan here as I come down the steps. You can see this is a huge cemetery. Do a little spin around here. And as I'm sure you can probably guess, we are going to be seeing a lot of hydrangeas. And they are huge. Sorry, I just pointed you in the sun. Need to get better at that. There are some, I did a little preview just to make sure that there were some plants here. Look at this like white one. I did a little preview and I saw some hydrangeas that were massive, so I can't wait to show those to you. I think this is a type of euphorbia. I'm just guessing based on the way this bloom looks, but I love the foliage. Almost has like a succulent type of look, the way that each individual leaf is kind of branched out. I am going to point out also, since we are here, some of the tombstones, because they are works of art. I love this lion and this woman right here. And let me just walk down here. So I did ride my bike to get here. It is not downtown, but it's not really that far. And it's a beautiful day. But I do want to show you, like, the view from up here is also fantastic. You are looking at, let me just walk down here to the corner. We'll do a little look at some of the other monuments while we're walking. But you are looking at the Schuylkill River, which is one of the main rivers here in Philadelphia. And the view is fantastic from up here. So the city is way in this direction, a few miles, but totally worth the bike ride to get here. So right over here, so this is not a perennial in this area, so somebody obviously stuck this in here this year. So right here we have a coffee cup alocasia, looking quite happy and looks very nice in this spot. I love how a lot of these old tombstones had little built-in areas for plants. So surrounding this massive monument here, we have some lily turf in bloom. And let me tell you, the bees are going crazy. There are tons of pollinators around this plant. Trying to come in here. I feel like anyone I touch has a bee on it. Hopefully you can see, this is actually really pretty. It looks like little clusters of grapes. I know this is a perennial, pretty hardy, and can take some abuse. I think a lot of these plants are that way because they are in the middle of cemetery and they're not getting a lot of maintenance. Although there are people here that do maintain the cemetery. I'm not sure how many people are into trees, but there are a lot of beautiful trees here. I love this weeping willow. It really, like, how fun is this? Especially if you're like a kid coming in here. This really creates this nice little like hideaway. So this is, it's also nice and shady under here, but look how, as I'm getting hit in the face, like look how beautiful this is with all of this draping. Feel like I'm covered in 100 bugs now. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. One more tree. We're not going to focus too much on the trees, but I really like the way this looks. And I like the shape of the leaves. Let's find my bike and keep on walking around. There are some agaves, or I think these are mangaves, here in this urn. Really pretty foliage. And I like the speckling here. This one is actually really nice. Let's just walk over here. I think we have a repeat of the same one. Okay, I think I lied about the tree thing. Technically, is this a bush? I'm not sure, but this is, my bike just blew over if you heard a noise. This is really pretty, whatever this is. There is also some creepy bug climbing in here as well, but I really like the look of this. So yes, I said no more trees, but I wanted to point that out. And also, look at this pine tree. No idea what this is, but I really like it. Like, look how long these pine needles are. Anybody knows what this is, please let me know in the comments. And right over here are some of those massive hydrangeas that I was talking about. Like, I don't think you can like tell. Let me put my hand in here. Like, these are huge, absolutely gigantic. It's a little hard to tell. I'm gonna try to put my face in here. Like, they are the size of my head. But they are so pretty. And I like how upright they are. Oh, here's one on the ground. This has been laying here for a while. It's quite dry. All right, I need to find my bike. I keep walking away from it. All right, we definitely have some color coming our way right here. Here is some crepe myrtle, looking beautiful. And there are a lot of zinnias right here. Let's just duck. Wow. These are very like, these are a different variety than I'm used to seeing. They're very like, I don't know, I'm gonna say fuzzy, which is not the right word, but this is like this standard, typical zinnia that I'm used to seeing. There are some coxcomb over here. I think there is a straw flower right down there. Definitely just put my arm on a bee. Thankfully it did not sting me. Like, look at how pretty these coxcombs are. You can see a bee right here in having a good day. There are some spider flower or cleome. There's also statice down here. You will frequently see this in dried arrangements. Very surprised to see that in there. There is some Gomphrena. And I also, so here's some more of the statice down here. Has that like straw-like texture when you touch it. There are dahlias in here. So we've got one right there, and there is a huge one right over here. This is really pretty. I'm not sure what all of this stuff is back here, but I like the way it looks. Very like feathery, ethereal, maybe that's what I want to say. But there's a lot of it over here. Love the foliage, and then the little berry type blooms that are on there. Okay, there are some more hydrangeas up here. I think these are actually the ones that I saw earlier, which are ridiculously huge. There's even some flowers engraved in the bottom of this cross. All right, guys, these hydrangeas win the award for being the biggest. I'm gonna stick my face in here. Sorry, I am sweaty and covered in sunscreen. I don't even know if this makes a difference. Can I get it in? I can't even get it in the picture. It's so big. There we go. I'm just sprinkling bugs in my hair right now. But these are literally, these are the biggest hydrangeas I've ever seen in my life. I love the like soft pink. These are stunning. There are some really pretty monuments in here. I will have to look up the age of the cemetery, but I know it is a few hundred years old. Spotted a tree over here. Let's just walk up and take a look. It has some kind of red balls on them. Oops, I'm stepping on them. I don't know what these are. They are starting to fall. Right here we have 2 banana plants. This is the red Abyssinian banana. And we also have some yuccas over here on the bank. Kind of surprised I haven't seen more yuccas, to be honest. You could spend hours walking around here and looking at all of the monuments. Look at this tree. This is huge. This has to be a few hundred years old. It is massive. This is another beautiful lookout spot. This is probably one of the well-known tombstones here in Laurel Hill, because it's a mother holding 2 babies, and she is perched here overlooking the river. Definitely a nice view from up here. I see some leaves falling. Yes, that means fall is right around the corner. These stones have been here so long that this tree is actually growing around it. I think there's some more over here. I think they're just propped up against the tree. But it's always wild when you see trees growing around objects. I always like the look of these. We're back at the trees again, even though I said no more. I always like the look of these bean trees. I don't know the exact name of them, but they're just really fun looking. So here at the entrance of Laurel Hill Cemetery, there are a few plants. There are cars like whizzing by me right now, so that's what all the noise is about. But there are some alliums down here. There's some agastache. And there are a few hibiscus. Let's just walk over here. Not really too much in bloom, but there's one right over here. All right guys, that's everything for today. Thank you for walking around Laurel Hill Cemetery with me. I hope you liked this video. Sorry there were not as many plants as in other videos, but I thought it would still be fun to come and take a look at what's going on here. Thanks again. Please don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next garden video. If you're interested in the cemetery, stick around for a few more minutes and I will show a little more footage. Have a great day.